सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं। पठामि संस्कृतं नित्यं वदामि संस्कृतं सदा ध्यायामि संस्कृतं सम्यक् वन्दे संस्कृतमातरम्। As usual, let us start with a beautiful Subhashita. Let us chant. I will chant. Please repeat after me. Takshakasya visham dante makshikayascha mastake vrishchikasya visham puchhe sarvange durjanasya cha. तक्षकस्य विषं दन्ते मक्षिकायाश्च मस्तके वृश्चिकस्य विषं पुच्छे सर्वांगे दुर्जनस्य च. Very simple meaning. Very simple meaning. By now, I am sure you all have got the meaning. Visham. Visham means poison. Where is poison? Takshakasya, for the snake, dante visham. For the snake, the poison is in tongue, teeth actually, but we call it tongue. Actually, the tongue of snake comes out. That is not poisonous. It is in the teeth which he spits. Right? So, takshakasya dante visham. Poison is there in the teeth of a snake. Makshikayaha cha mastake. Makshika, bee. In the head of the bee, they say is the poison. That's why with the head, it stings. Bee stings with the head. Right? That extra thing is there on top of head. Makshikayaha cha mastake visham. Vrishchikasya puchhe. Vrishchika, scorpion. Must have seen scorpion. The poison is in the tail. You must have seen, no, when he walks, the tail comes from on top. And with that it stings. Vrishchikasya puchhe visham sarvange durjanasya cha. But for a wicked person, poison is there throughout the body, in all parts of the body. You understand what the Subhashita is trying to tell, right? You at least have idea where it is going to be the poison for snake, bee or scorpion. You can remove that portion. They do that, isn't it? For snakes, etc. also they remove the teeth and then it is no more poisonous. Right? But then, Durjan, what will you do? Durjan, wicked person, what will you do? Everywhere there is poison. Expect it to come out from anywhere. Right? That is the point of the Subhashita. Poison is present in the teeth of a snake, in the head of a bee, in the tail of a scorpion, and in the entire body of a wicked person. Okay? Very simple Subhashita, but gives some points for us to reflect. Let us chant the verse again and then we will go forward. Takshakasya visham dante makshikayascha mastake vrishchikasya visham puchhe sarvange durjanasya cha. All right. Now let us continue with our session. What we had seen in the last class, we are seeing Visarga Sandhi, and in Visarga Sandhi we saw some important sutras in the last session. First one was Sasajusho Ruhu. Please repeat, Sasajusho Ruhu. Sasajusho Ruhu. What is the sutra telling? Sa and Sajush. For these two words, Ruhu Syat. Visarga changes to Ra. Sa changes to Ra basically. But this is applicable only for ich. When there is before Visarga, there is any other swara other than a. Exception is Avyayanta that we have seen, Punaha, etc. But ich followed by Visarga, followed by Ash. Ash means what? Swara, Antastha, C5, C4, C3, everything. Then the Visarga will change to Ra. Sasajusho Ruhu. Then there is one exception. If that Ash is Ra, then what will happen? This Ra, Visarga has become Ra. This Ra is again followed by another Ra. When each Visarga and Ra is there, then Visarga will become Ra by this sutra, Sasajushoru. Then that Ra is followed by another Ra, two Ra's back to back, not possible. So what happens? This Visarga Lopa happens, becomes invisible. Rori, please repeat the sutra. Rori, Rori, Rori. And then what happens? When that Visarga is dropped, the previous swara becomes Dirgha. When this Visarga, which has become Ra, is dropped because of the next Ra, then the previous becomes Dirgha. Previous swara becomes Dirgha. Sutra is Dhralope Purvasya Dirghonaha. Please repeat. Dhralope Purvasya Dirghonaha. Dhralope Purvasya Dirghonaha. Dhralope Purvasya Dirghonaha. So when Dha and Ra Lopa is happening, then Purvasya Anaha Dirghasyat. When Ra Lopa is happening, Purva Ana. Ana is Ayur, that which has Rasva. That only can become Dirgha, no? So what was Rasva will become Dirgha. If it is already Dirgha, no change, that's okay. Right? This is what will happen. So, just to give you an idea, if you remember, earlier we had seen one sutra, Visarjaniyasya Saha. Right? In Visarjaniyasya Saha, what happens? Swara is there, any swara, plus Visarga, plus Khara. Then Visarga was changing to Sa. Correct? Correct? Now, this sutra is telling what? If ich is there, plus Visarga, plus Ash, Sasajusho Ruhu, then the Visarga is changing to Ra. There is a further, after changing Ra, there is something happening that is only for next one also is Ra. Leave that. Just see at the general thing. Okay. So, any swara, Visarga, followed by Khar. Any swara other than A we have not seen yet. Means in these two sutras, right? Except any other swara, Visarga followed by Ash, then it changes to Ra. Now, please note, Ash plus Khar is the entire gamut. Everything. Why? Ayundrla Keongayo, Chayavaratla Niyamaganam, Jabangadash. Then Kappa Chatata Kapai Shashasar. Ha is already included with Ash. So with Ash and Khar, all the Vyanjanas, all the Varnas are over. So mainly, there are only two sutras. One wherein Visarga changes to Sa, another where Visarga changes to Ra. Visarga changes to Ra when, but however here please note, this swara is all swaras. This is only ich. So for a or a, there are some different sutras. Are you getting? But a or a followed by khara, then the same sutra, Visarjaniyasya sa. So what is remaining now? What is remaining is a or a plus visarga plus ash. This is what is remaining. Correct? If it is followed by khar, it changes to sa. If it is followed by ash, it changes to ra, except a or a. If there is a or a before visarga. As we have seen, there are more a and a's only. Devaha, devaha, balaha, balaha. So therefore, we are now going to see that. We have, last session we have seen, but I am just trying to summarize. So this is Visarjaniyasya saha, this is Sasajusho Ruhu. Now what? Now for a or a, what is happening now? Now before we go to a or a, please also note, what are the possible things that can happen to Visarga? Changes, I mean. Visarga can remain Visarga, but that's not a change. What is happening? Visarga can change to sa, or it can change to ra, or it can change to u, or it can change to ya, or lopa can happen. Correct? That is it. When does it remain Visarga? For ka kha, before ka kha, pa pha, sa sha sha. Visarga remains Visarga. When does it become sa? Visarjaniyasya sa, when followed by khar. Right? Remaining khar, of course. Other than this, means what? Ta tha, ta tha, cha cha. Correct? When does it become ra? When before is ich and then followed by ash. Before is ich plus ash. After visarga is ash. Then, now what? Now we are going to see when does it become u, when does it become ya, when does it become lopa. Lopa, one sutra we have seen, but that is actually visarga changing to ra, ra lopa is happening. Visarga lopa is not happening. See here, dra lopa, ra lopa is happening. Visarga's lopa, eventually because visarga only has become ra, therefore we are calling it. But that is what is happening. Lopa, one sutra we have seen, remaining we have to see. Now, let us see. One more, two sutras we have seen in the last session where it becomes u. Ato roraplutad aplute. Ato roraplutad aplute. Please repeat. Ato roraplutad aplute. Ato roraplutad aplute. Ato roraplutad aplute. What is the sutra saying? Very simple. Before visarga there is a. After visarga also there is a. Then the visarga will change to u. Before visarga there is a. After visarga there is a. So aha plus next word is starting with a. Then what will happen? This visarga will change to u. Then what will happen? A plus u will become o. Then what will happen? This a will become avagraha. Remember all these things? This is sandhi, this is ach sandhi. A plus u is becoming o by guna sandhi. Ad gunaha. A is getting dropped because of eng of padantadati. Correct? Eng of padantadati. So, before visarga there is a, after visarga there is a, then visarga becomes u. Or another sutra, hashicha. Please repeat. Hashicha. 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 Now what is the sutra telling? If before Visarga there is a and after Visarga there is hush, then also Visarga will change to U, a plus U will become O, hush will remain hush. Because this Eng of Padantarati is only for a, not for hush. So this is what will happen. Correct? Again, hush means what? Hush means Antastha, C5, C4, C3. Swaras are excluded. Hayavarat Land, from there it is starting. So now what is remaining? Now what is remaining for us? Let us see. See, up to now, so many things we have done. Now what is remaining? A, Visarga plus, we can't say Asavarna, At or Ich. This is remaining. Remaining swaras other than A. If A is before and A is after, then we have seen. If A is before not swaras but other consonants, then also we have seen. But remaining swaras, if they come, what happens? We have not yet seen. Number 1. Number 2, A plus Visarga plus Ash. Then what will happen? That we have not seen. Correct? Clear? This is clear? Is this clear? What is it that we have seen and what is it that we have not seen? Now here also you can divide this Ash into 2. Ach, Swaras and Hush. Same way like how it happened here, na? Swara is different, Hush is different. That way you can divide. So 3 sutras, not 3 actually, 2 sutras, one for this and one for this. These 2 sutras are pending. That is what we are going to see. I hope you are understanding what is happening. Before Visarga, Swara has to come. After Visarga, any letter can come. Right? So any Swara before and any letter, if Khara is after, then Sa, Visarjani, Sa. If Ich, any Swara other than A or A is there and Ash is there, then Sasaju Sho Ruhu, Visarga changes to Ra. Now what? A. That is what? These 2 sutras are for A. One more sutra for A is there, and for A also we have to see these 2 things. That is what we are going to see today. Okay? I hope this is clear. Chalo, let us see now. What? Next sutra. Very interesting sutra. Please repeat. Bho bhago agho apurvasya yoshi. Bho bhago agho apurvasya yoshi. Bho bhago agho apurvasya yoshi. What is the sutra telling? Bho ho, bhago ho, agho ho. If after that or apurvasya, or if there is a before etat purvasya, rah ya adeshasyat ashipare. Please understand what is the sutra telling. Bho ho. Now tell me. Bho ho, bhago ho, agho ho. These are the, what are these? What is this bho, agho? Avyaya. Avyaya we had seen, indeclinables. These are the what we use for addressing somebody. Bhoho, oh great personality. Bhagoho, Aghoho is niche personality, wretched fellow. Oh, you wretched fellow, that is Aghoho. Bhoho, Bhagoho is for respect. Agho is with disrespect, addressing. In English we say no, oh my dear brother, oh idiot fool, whatever way you want to say, but you say oh, that oh is this in Sanskrit. But others also we have seen hey, hey Rama, famous hey Rama, hey, re, are, all these also we had seen in the avyas. So if in case these are the words before or apurvasya, means what? Or a, then there is visarga, ash, and then there is ash. Then what will happen? This visarga will change to ya. Now ya is remaining. Visarga changes to sa, visarjaniyasya sa, we have seen. Visarga changes to ra, sa sajusho ruhu, that also we have seen. Visarga changes to u, two sutras we have seen, ato roraplutadaplute and hashicha. Now what this sutra does, it changes visarga to ya. But already this is generally for full ash, but of course we have already seen for a visarga plus a or a visarga plus hash, it changes to u. Visarga changes to u, atoro roraplutadaplute and hashicha, the previous two sutras. So of course that is to be excluded from here. So now what remains? This is what remains. At, that is a, plus visarga plus remaining swaras. Remaining swaras means what? A or other swaras, e, u, r, l, a, I, o, au. Then visarga will change to ya. Or second option, if at is there plus visarga plus any swara, then also visarga will change to ya. Are you getting what is happening? The sutra says a or a. This bho, bhago, agho you leave, that is exceptions, only those three. We are not going to use them much. But the point is what? A before, a or a before visarga, followed by ash. But two already sutras we have seen, if it is followed by a or hash, then what happens? We have already seen atoro roraplutadaplute and hashicha, it changes to u. Now what is remaining? If it is followed by, if a is followed by any other swara, a, e, u, r, l, a, I, o, au, any other swara, then visarga changes to ya. And in case of a, aha, a plus visarga followed by any swara, then also visarga changes to ya. Let us see the examples, it will become clear. Visarga is not written too much. There is visarga here, okay? Rama agacchati. Typing mistake. Rama agacchati. Then what will happen? Ramaya. Why? Because a visarga followed by a. A visarga followed by a. Visarga changes to ya. Ramaya agacchati. Ramaya agacchati. Or one sutra we had seen long ago, lopashakalya. By that sutra, yakarasya lopasyat. Echoya vayavaha we had studied. Remember echoya vayavaha? In echoya vayavaha, what happened when a, o, I, au followed by any swara, then I, av, I, av. Correct? Remember this? Echoya vayavaha. Yes. Then what was the sutra we said? Lopashakalyasya, which is optional sutra from other part of the Ashtadhyayi, which said if there is a at the end of the pada, or a or a, followed by ya or va, then that ya or va may get dropped. Then what used to happen? This ya va will go, it will remain as a, and next word will start wherever, whatever it was. This is followed by any swara, no? Followed by any swara, that swara will remain, but it will become a or a. That ya will not be seen. Okay? Many times we have seen this. Now same thing. Here also it is happening. Why? Because before Visarga, there is a or a. So a or a, then what is happening? Visarga is changing to ya, followed by any swara. Some swara is there afterwards, isn't it? And therefore, same situation is there like echoya vayavaha. Therefore, here also optionally ya may get dropped. But as so far we have seen, whenever there is such option, we always take that option. So, Ramaha agacchati, Ramaya agacchati, or Rama agacchati. But of course, we use this Rama agacchati. Clear? So, this sutra bhog bhagwa go apurvasya yoshi, what is it doing? It is changing visarga to ya. But because that visarga is after a or a, it is becoming aya or aya. When it becomes aya or aya, that ya may get dropped because of lopashakalyasya, another sutra. Right? And that way, what remains is visarga is dropped. Visarga is becoming ya, and then that ya is getting dropped. So at the end, what is happening? Visarga is not there. You just have Rama plus agacchati. This is actually Visarga is there. Let us see. Manushyaha ichchati. Manushyaha ichchati. Now here again what is happening? Before Visarga there is a. After Visarga there is other swara. Any other swara. Then what is happening? Either it will change to ya, Manushya ichchati, or ya may get dropped, Manushya ichchati. Correct? Again, one thing we should not forget. Rama plus agacchati, don't do a plus a. Which we had studied one sutra in Acha Sandhi, first sutra we studied in Sandhi Prakarana, that is Akassavarne Dirgha. When a is followed by a, it should become Dirgha a. So Rama plus agacchati should become Rama agacchati. Same way, Manushya plus ichchati, a plus e should become a. No. Why? Lopa has happened. Lopa means what? Adarshanam lopaha. I hope you remember this. It is not seen. That doesn't mean it is not there. So there is ya in between. So don't join them further. It stops. When Rama agacchati is final answer, it stops there. No further join. Why? There is ya in between, which is not seen. Same way like echoya vayavaha. Further we don't have to do sandhi. We can't do sandhi. There is ya in between. Are you understanding? After this, ya is visarga has become ya is optionally dropped. After it is optionally dropped, now you sandhi cannot happen because there is a ya in between, which is not seen. Adarshanam lopaha. Okay, and therefore Manushya ichchati. That's it. It will be written like that. This is the reason why many times when we are chanting texts like Gita, etc., we add that visarga while in our brain, saying that there is no visarga seen, but it exists. How? Because it has either become ya and then lopa or ra and lopa. That is what has happened. So it is not seen, but it is there. As we see the examples in the next session, you will understand what I am talking about. Next example, avyayah eva. Avyayah eva. What does this say? Again, before visarga a is there, after visarga any other swara is there. Same way, avyaya eva or avyaya eva. Avyaya ya eva. Avyaya eva, or that ya is dropped. Avyaya eva. Right. Now for a also, balaha atra. Balaha, dirgha a, followed by visarga, followed by any swara. Any swara. Then what happens? Visarga changes to ya. Balayatra or bala atra. Lataha edhante. Shaking. Lataya edhante. Latayedhante or lata edhante. Simply visarga becomes ya and it is dropped. Visarga is not seen. Is this clear? Is this clear? Bho bhago agho apurvasya yoshi. What does the sutra say? If before visarga there is a or a, after visarga for a there is any other swara, for a any swara, then visarga will change to ya. And then by lopa shakalyasya, another sutra, ya will get dropped. So essentially what is happening? Visarga is getting dropped. Right? Right? Now the last sutra in this series, one exception sutra is there that we will see, but last sutra to complete the thing, Hali Sarvesham. Please repeat, Hali Sarvesham. Hali Sarvesham. Hali Sarvesham. What does the sutra says? The sutra says don't go via this via method. Visarga changes to ya. Ya is getting dropped. I will directly drop visarga. What is the sutra? Bho bhago ago apurvasya. That is coming from the previous sutra. Bho bhago ago apurvasya you ashi. Instead of ashi, yasya lopasyat hali. That ya which has become, that is again becoming lopa. So what is the sutra telling? Now only what is remaining? A is only remaining. Before visarga only a, after visarga hush, then lopa. Visarga will change to ya and then ya will change to lopa by Hali Sarvesham. That is the only thing that is remaining now. That is the only thing that is pending. Example, Balaha hasanti. Then what? Balaya hasanti. By which sutra? Bo bhago ago apurvasya yoshi. Then balaya, then bala hasanti. Ya is getting dropped by Hali Sarvesham. Earlier it was getting dropped by lopa shakalyasya. Why? Because after there was the swara. Lopa shakalyasya works only for that. This is not swara. So for this, the separate sutra Hali Sarvesham. Taha gachanti, tai gachanti, ta gachanti. Also please note, lopa shakalyasya was optional. This is compulsory. Nitya sandhi. Therefore what will happen? Hali Sarvesham, always visarga is dropped. Vriddhaha yanti. Elderly people are coming. Vriddhaya yanti. Vriddha yanti. Chhatraha dhavanti. Students are running. Chhatraya dhavanti. Chhatra dhavanti. Devaha vasanti. Deities are staying. Devaya vasanti. Deva vasanti. Can you see this? What is happening now? Okay. Okay. Now, before we see this exception, sutra, let us revise what all things are happening here. Let us go now swara by swara. Let us go like this. A plus visarga plus a. A plus visarga plus any other swara. A plus visarga plus hush. A plus visarga plus khar. For a, these are the four options. Before visarga, a is there. After visarga, what? Either a, any other swara, hush, that is antastha, C5, C4, C3, C2, C1, ushmana, khar. What is happening in each? Carefully remember and do. Visarga here is changing to u. Ato roraplutadaplute. Then later on that visarga, that u is joining with a, becoming o, that next a is getting dropped. That's all okay. What is happening with visarga? We are sticking to that. If a followed by visarga followed by at or ich, what is happening? This is getting ya. This is becoming ya, and further ya is going into lopa. This is becoming ya by bho, bhago, agho, apurvasya yoshi, and then lopa optional by lopa shakalyasya. Third, if it is followed by this, again it is changing to u by the sutra hashicha. Hashicha. And if a visarga followed by khar, then our favorite sutra right there in the beginning, visarjaniyasya saha, it is becoming sa. So there are four options for a. Four options for a. Now a, let us see. If a is followed by visarga, which is further followed by any swara, first option. Second option, a is followed by visarga and it is followed by hush. And then third option, ha, which is followed by visarga, which is followed by khar. Right? What is happening here? This is becoming ya and then it is becoming lopa by the sutra. It is becoming ya by the sutra bho, bhago, agho, apurvasya yoshi, and lopa by lopa shakalyasya. If a visarga is followed by hush, then also it is becoming ya and also it is having lopa, but sutra is different. It is becoming ya by the same sutra, bho, bhago, agho, apurvasya yoshi, but lopa by hali sarvesham, the previous sutra. Correct? And if it is followed by khar, then our favorite sutra visarjaniyasya sa. Sa is happening. Everywhere sa is happening. Is this also clear? Is this also clear? So this is for a. This is for a. Now what? Now for ich. Ich means what? Remaining swaras. What is that? Only two sutras are there. Before Visarga is Ich, followed by Visarga, followed by Ash and Ich, followed by Visarga, followed by Khar. This is one, this is second option. If any swara other than A or A is before Visarga, and after Visarga there is Ash, swara or Antastha or C5, C4, C3, then Visarga is changing to R. Sasajusho Ruhu. And if it is followed by Khar, then our favorite sutra which is there in all the three, Visarjaniyasya Saha. Are you getting this? So Visarjaniyasya Saha, you can see. Okay, let me change the color and show you. So this is Visarjaniyasya Saha. Can you see this color? You can see the color. This is Visarjaniyasya Saha, this is Visarjaniyasya Saha, this is Visarjaniyasya. You can see all three places it is there. For Khar, there is only one sutra. Visarga changes to Sa. Then that Sa will further change to Sha because of Stosh, Chunash, Chush, Tunash, Tu, etc. That's okay. Visarga may come back to become Visarga because of Va, Shari and Kupvo, Kaf, Paucha. That is also okay. Those are all details, but this is what is happening basically. Correct? This much is clear. This much is clear. Very good. Then for each another sutra, Sasajusho Ruhu, it changes to Ra. Now in that also there is another further option also is there. If Ra is followed by Ra, then that Ra is getting dropped, the previous swara is becoming Dirgha. Details, not important. Important is what? This is Visarjaniyasya Saha. This is Sasajusho Ruhu, and then these are the sutras that we have seen. Ato roraplutadaplute, Hashicha, Bho Bhago Agho Apurvasya Yoshi, and Hali Sarvesham. So you can make a proper list and create a table like this so that it will become clear what happens to Visarga. Either Visarga changes to Sa, Visarga changes to Ra, Visarga changes to U, Visarga changes to Ya, and then Visarga is getting dropped. This is what is happening. 5. Sa, Ra, U, Ya, Lopa. That Ya only is getting Lopa, Ra also can get Lopa. But this is what is happening. Right? This is Va. Because of Lopa Shakal is optional. But this Lopa is compulsory Lopa, Hali Sarvesham, compulsory Lopa. Okay? So please put this map in your brain and on paper also. In brain for those people who can remember very well. Those people who cannot, put it on paper also. Even those people who can remember, first put it on paper, then put it in your brain. But have that map very clear. Then you will understand what is happening where. When the study of Shastra starts, then these all will become, see, in all the three types of Sandhis we have seen. No? Acha Sandhi we have seen. Then Vyanjana Sandhi we have seen, Hal Sandhi, and now we have seen Visarga Sandhi. Please understand that maximum times you are going to use Acha Sandhi and Visarga Sandhi. This Vyanjana Sandhi is very rare in the sense it is included. No, it becomes so part of the language that it is not even noteworthy if you see. In the next session when we will see the examples from Bhagavad Gita also, you will see we had seen separate examples for Acha Sandhi from Bhagavad Gita. But we did not see for Vyanjana Sandhi. Why? Because it is not much. But Visarga Sandhi, lots of examples. In every verse almost there will be something. If you go and analyze the Vyanjana Sandhi also, Hal Sandhi also, so many things are, very, what we can say, integral part of the language. This is happening very evidently outside Visarga Sandhi and Swara Sandhi. That's why that will become clear. So please note this down. If you want to take a picture, take this picture. But why I am not going to print it, I mean, I am not adding a separate slide for this, is because I want you to write. There is a different way I have put the whole thing in the next slide that you will see. But right now, just write what happens when A is there before Visarga, what happens when A is there before Visarga, what happens when any other Swara is there before Visarga. All right, clear, this is clear. Yeah. Now one last sutra as an exception and our Sandhi Prakarana is over. What is that last sutra? Have you taken the picture? Have you written? Okay. What is the last sutra? Let us see. The sutra says, Etat tado sulopo akorananya samase hali. What Veji? What is that sutra? Let us chant by breaking first. Etat tadoho sulopaha akorananya samase hali. Etat tado sulopo akorananya samase hali. Etat tado sulopo akoranan samase hali. Sutra is difficult to remember, but what it does is very easy. Akakarayoho etat suhu tasya lopaha hali natu nanya samase. Forget about the vritti also. What it says is, if before Visarga there is sa or esha, means what? Saha or eshaha. Saha, what is saha? Saha, he, far. Eshaha, he, near. Remember, tat sarvanama, etat sarvanama. Tat pullinga is saha. Etat pullinga is eshaha. Only for these two words, saha and eshaha, if it is followed by any letter other than a, then the Visarga lopa is happening. Any letter other than a. It can be any other swara, it can be any other vyanjana, it can be any vyanjana, it doesn't matter. If saha or eshaha is followed by any letter other than a, then what? Then by this sutra, Visarga's lopa will happen. Very, very simple sutra. Sutra is difficult to remember, but the point is very easy. Saha plus tatra, sa tatra. Ideally, what should happen? Visarga followed by ta. Visarga should become sa. Sas tatra, it should become sas tatra. Ramas tatra. Krishnas tatra. Like that, sas tatra. No, it does not become sa tatra. Saha agacchati, sa agacchati. Again here, don't join this sa and a further, because there is lopa has happened in between. Visarga is there but not seen. Sa agacchati. Eshaha sarveshwaraha. Then what? Esha sarveshwaraha. Remember, famous sutra, famous mantra is there. Esha sarveshwaraha. Esha sarvadnyaha, esho antaryami, esha yonis sarvasya, prabhavapyayo hi bhutanam. Mandukya Upanishad, mantra number 6. Esha sarveshwaraha, esha sarvadnyaha. Now, esho antaryami, it is not becoming esha antaryami. Why? Because antaryami is starting with a. So, exception will work. Esha gacchati, esha gacchati. And for exception, what is happening? Saha aham, soham. Eshaha asti, eshosti. What is happening here? Which sutra is happening here? The sutra that we have already studied. a plus visarga plus a, visarga changes to u. Saha or esha is finished, is ending with a, sa or esha. Then visarga is there. So whether it is saha or esha plus a, then what will happen? So or esho. How? Sa visarga is becoming u, a plus u, o. Next a is becoming. So soham is what? Sah aham. Soham, very famous name, no? So many of our Indian houses, Soham name is there. What is Soham? Saha, that supreme Brahman, I am. It's a Mahavakya. Soham. Soham. Esha asti, this is there. Esho asti. Eshontaryami, we already saw in that same mantra. Esha sarveshwaraha, esha sarvadnyaha, eshontaryami, esha yoni sarvasya, esha yoni. Why? Because of this sutra. So basically this sutra, etat tados sulopo akorananya samase hali, is saying what? Saha eshaha, followed by any letter other than a, then that visarga is dropped. That's it. If it is followed by a, then ato roraplutadaplute, it will change to u, a plus u, adgunaha, o followed by next, which is starting with a, then that a is becoming avagraha. A is dropped. Clear? With this we conclude the Sandhi Prakarana also. Let us now just put the entire Visarga Sandhi together. Okay, ready? Now this is a different way I have put it. I already told you there is a different ways for understanding. One way I showed you before, now this is another way. What is that way? Let us see. Sutras that we have seen. Visarjani yasya. What is that sutra doing? Ach, any swara, plus visarga, plus khar. Khar is what? C1, C2 and Ushmana. But for that Ushmana Sashasha, there is another sutra Vashari is happening. That's why just say C1, C2. In C1, C2 also, Tatha, Tatha, Chacha. For Tatha, it will remain Sa. Chacha, it will become Sha. Tatha, it will become Sha. Stoho, Shunashtuhu, Shtunashtuhu. What is the sutra? Visarjaniyasya Saha. Repeat. Visarjaniyasya Saha. Visarjaniyasya Saha. Visarjaniyasya Saha. What is the sutra doing? Visarga changes to Sa. Then what? If ich is followed by visarga, which is further followed by ash, then visarga is changing to ra. What is the sutra? Sasajusho ruhu. Please repeat. Sasajusho ruhu. Sasajusho ruhu. Right? If it is followed, if the second one is ra, then after this sasajusho ruhu, this ra will get dropped and the previous swara will become dirgha by rori and dralope purvasya dirgona. That we already know. We don't have to worry too much. Here also I hope you remember there is vashari, which is for sa, sha, sha, where it will go back to visarga. Or kupoh, kaf, paucha for ka, kha, pa, pha, again it will go back to visarga. Here I am only showing the changes. Visarga is remaining visarga in those cases. That's not I am showing that. I am not showing that. So visarga changes to sa, visarga changes to ra. Further, ra may get dropped. Next, a before visarga, a after visarga. What happens? Visarga changes to u. Repeat. Ato roraplutadaplute. Ato roraplutadaplute. Clear? Then that visarga which is becoming u will join with this a, will become o. Next a will be dropped and will become avagraha. That's okay. That is ach sandhi we have already seen. Ato roraplutadaplute. Next, if a is there before visarga and is followed by any other swara, then visarga will become ya and then that ya will further be dropped. By which sutra? By which sutra it is becoming ya? Please repeat. Bho bhago agho apurvasya yoshi. Bho bhago agho apurvasya yoshi. Bho bhago agho apurvasya yoshi. Here is getting dropped by the optional drop lopashakalya that we already studied. Alright. Third option in a, if a followed by visarga is followed by hush. Hush. Swaras are over now. Antastha, C5, C4, C3. Then what? Visarga changes to u by hashicha. Same thing is happening. Here also visarga is changing to u, but the sutra is atoro roraplutadaplute. Here visarga is changing to u by hashicha. Then again that a plus u will become o, but next is hush, so there will not be any avagraha etc. But a plus u will become o. Hashicha. Please repeat. Hashicha. 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 And just now we have seen one exception. If it is saha or eshaha followed by any letter other than a, then that visarga will be dropped. Etattado sulopo akorananya samase hali. Don't worry about the sutra. Alright, that is what is happening. Next word, a. If a is there before visarga followed by any swara, then visarga is becoming ya is getting dropped. Same way like this. What is the sutra? Bho bhago agho apurvasya yoshi. We have seen already. And lopashakalya says ya getting dropped. Last one. If a before visarga, after visarga hush, then that visarga is becoming ya and lopa compulsory by the sutra hali sarvesham. Please repeat. Hali sarvesham. Hali sarvesham. Hali sarvesham. Okay. So this is another way of doing the summary. Okay. One way I showed you before, one way I am showing you now. I hope both these ideas are clear. Now make your own tables. Very important. Keep it handy. Just like we had those rupas also, na? Akaranta, akaranta, pullinga, strilinga, napumsakalinga, then ikaranta. Like that one paper you keep for sandhi also. One paper for ach sandhi, one paper for vyanjana sandhi, one paper for visarga sandhi. Please remember, I don't tell you to do anything unless I do it. Okay? I have done it, therefore I am telling you to do it. It is very important, very handy. I did it how many years back now? 14 years, 13 years back. But that is helpful even today. When we have to go back, just see that one paper, all the sutras will immediately come to your mind. Right? So please make this table properly, and in the next session we will see the examples of first Visarga Sandhi and then some examples of Vyanjana Hal Sandhi also from Bhagavad Gita chapter 1. Bhagavad Gita chapter 1. Okay, that is going to be our next session. Next session entirely is going to go in that. Okay, and then we will also actually take up few verses and separate out every single word. Okay, that's also we are going to do in the next session. Okay, chalo. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.